I get that question from judges from Latin America, from Africa, from Asia, from all over the place. I mean, there was a woman about 4 or 5 months ago, president of the Supreme Court, Chief Justice of Ghana. And they're making progress in Ghana. They want to have a democracy, secure human rights, and she was great. But that's the first thing she wants to know. Why do people do what you say? I said, that's a good question. And I can say, well, it is a great document, but we all know that. That isn't sufficient. So I say, I'm afraid I have to tell you some history, because it's really in history where the answer to this lies. Is you're trying to change behavior, and you're trying to change behavior and solidify behavior of tens of millions, now hundreds of millions of Americans. After Brown was decided, and the court said, no, there's no more legal segregation, that's out. It's contrary to equal protection of the law. You can't have a segregated society, no more black school, white school in the South, out. That was 54. In 55, what happened? Yeah, just what you're saying, nothing. And 56, what happened? Yeah, right, nothing. Or not much anyway. 57 in Little Rock, the district judge there says it's time to integrate Central High School, and that was where the Little Rock Nine came from. And some of us can remember Governor Falbus, who stood on the schoolhouse door in effect and said, they're not coming into this school. And that judge, fine, he can write whatever he wants, but I have the troops. I have the state militia, and the state militia turned them away. And some of us can remember that picture of Elizabeth Eckford walking very dignified as she was sent away, and behind her a white woman whose face is just contorted with rage. That went around the world. And the congressman there, Brooks Hayes, phoned President Eisenhower and said, will you meet with Governor Falbus? Yes. And Falbus went up to Newport, met with Eisenhower, and he came out, told Eisenhower, he said, that he dressed me down like a general dresses down a sergeant, he said. And he said to Eisenhower, I'll integrate the school. And he went out and told the press the opposite. So Eisenhower was a little annoyed. But Eisenhower took advice about what to do. And Jimmy Burns, who was a member of our court, resigned in World War II to run the war mobilization effort here in the United States, and then became a moderate on race, became governor of South Carolina. He said to President Eisenhower, if you send troops, he says, you better be prepared to reoccupy the entire South. He says, are you ready for a second Reconstruction? And he said, the best that'll happen is they'll close all the schools, and no one will be educated. But Herbert Brownell, who is Eisenhower's wise counselor, told him differently and said, you have to do this. You simply must. And Eisenhower, who had been pretty good actually in the practical part of the integration, he implemented President Truman's integration order in the Army and the Armed Forces. But anyway, he said, yes, I will, and he sent the 101st Airborne. And it was deliberately chosen, of course, because every American in 1957 knew who the 101st Airborne was. I mean, they were the heroes of Normandy. They'd flown in, and they were hung up on the church steeples and shot down, and they were the heroes of the Battle of the Bulge, and he took 1,000 paratroopers, and he put them on the airplane and sent them to Little Rock, and the next day they marched in, escorted those black children into the white school. And that was a great day. It was a great day for the law. It was a great day for the cause of equality. It was a great day for the United States of America. So I want people to know that story, but I wish I could say it ended there. It didn't at all. It didn't end there. They had to take the troops back. They couldn't leave them there forever. And the segregationist board was elected, and the segregationist board tries to worm its way out of that. And they brought another case to the court called Cooper versus Aaron. And in that case, the court said, of course you have to go ahead and integrate, but all 9 signed it. All 9. We really mean it. Do it. Well, that was 9 judges. Say, 9. You could have had 90. You could have had 900. Maybe 9,000. The day after that court decided that matter, Governor Falbus closed the school. And Little Rock was closed for the rest of the year. And read about what happened to the children. A lot of their lives were really ruined because of that. But it couldn't last. You see, I say this because I'm an optimist. And I'm a judge, so naturally I think that was an important thing that Eisenhower did, and indeed I think the die was cast there. It couldn't last. Eventually another board's elected, they reopened the school, and that was the time the freedom marches, there were the Freedom Riders and Martin Luther King, and so it was, do I think that was a catalyst? Yeah, I think it helped a lot. But for me, you see, that's a heroic day, sending those 1,000 troops.